This week in our collective heads, wanna put an old rumor to bed. Stereotype that you've all heard, how we're all just angry video game nerds. Most of us have actual jobs, kids and families and cats and dogs, yeah. This week in our collective heads, this week in our collective heads.
Welcome to This Week in Our Collective Heads. I'm Patrick, and I'm joined by the disembodied voice of Kevin.
Ooh. I am here.
Yes, I've summoned him from a distance, which is what we normally do, but today, unfortunately, not able to be on camera, but audio and still present in spirit. Starting off this week, we're talking about backwards compatibility, because that's what we do every time that it's available, and it's pretty much every week. Starting off with Saints Row, which I loved. I absolutely loved Saints Row. Yes, it's dated. Really would like some a remaster of this and the second one, but it's fun still. I think this has got to be beta footage or something, or like early footage, because the graphics didn't look that bad. But I couldn't find a decent trailer. Also got Gat Out of Hell, which has been on for free everywhere, I think.
Basically.
Yeah.
But that was the DLC / expansion to Saints Row 4. It was pretty fun. I liked it.
It's fun. It's over the top. It's ridiculous. You get large floppy weapons and all kinds. Well, sorry, the floppy weapons are in 3. This is the DLC, which brings you to the aforementioned hell. And then we have Turbo Toy. Turbo Toy. Toy Box Turbos.
There you go.
Yeah, I did it. Which played on Games with Gold or PlayStation Plus or one of those, and I didn't care for it. But here it is, and it's backwards compatible. So enjoy that. Let's see. We also on the.
I'm hearing. Hey Patrick, real quick. I'm hearing voice echo on you sometimes.
On me?
Yes.
Are you hearing it, or is everyone hearing it?
I'm not sure. I could be getting it from multiple sources. There's Twitch. Twitch is playing.
All right. There we go.
That'll be it.
Okay, that's the problem. Cool. So so Toy Box Turbo Mania thingies, that happens, and I don't. I mean, if that's your thing, that's your thing. Again, not every game is for everyone, but I don't think this game is for very many. So we also got Midnight Club because, Rockstar Games tweeted out that they've got some backwards compatible games coming out. One of them being Midnight Club. Also, GTA San Andreas, which I could not find a decent trailer for, so I apologize. But I'm pretty sure everyone has played GTA San Andreas or knows what it is.
You know why I bet you couldn't find footage for San Andreas?
What's that?
You remember they played every trailer to that with Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah.
So those guys are jumping all over that when that pops up on YouTube.
That could be Axl Rose hates America, and he will take down those. He will take down those videos for you. We also got table tennis, which I'm sure everyone was hoping for.
Oh yeah. I never actually played that one, but I respected that they did it.
Well,
just
sure.
For fun.
Sure. I mean, I know that there are people out there who wanted to play it. I don't feel like I feel like this is a very small niche audience, unless you're able to do it like via Nintendo, where you're doing something ridiculous, tie it into an IP, and make it cartoony and arcade. Then I think it works. But I don't know. I maybe some people liked this game. I mean, I saw some reviews of it. I personally have not played it, but I saw a lot of reviews of it saying it's what they wanted to make, but who wanted it?
Yeah.
So that's all the backwards compatible news for the most part. But we got some Games with Gold and PlayStation Plus this week. We're trying to rush through these because there's actual things we want to discuss. But we want to at least get these out to you first. For Games with Gold, we got Assassin's Creed Russia, which is one of the Assassin's Creed Chronicles Russia, which is one of the 2D fighter games, which excited Whitney until she realized it was one of the 2D games, and she couldn't care less.
You played, I forget which platform it's on, but you played one of these for free at one point, right?
I've played China and India.
Okay.
Yep, and they're fun. I mean, I like them. it's just not core Assassin's Creed. We also got Smite. I can't remember the subtitle to it, but this one I'm actually really excited to play. It's I don't know. It's fun and a mixture of Eastern and Western mythology from what I've heard. So I'm excited about it.
It's also kind of funny because IGN does kind of a roundup of what all the what the price of all the games for the month is.
Yeah.
And because of this $99 bundle thing that they're sending you, this one bumped it over the top. I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, the $99 bundle. Oh, the Smite.
Yeah, Smite is a free-to-play game, and you're getting $99 worth of stuff.
Yeah. So that's I didn't realize you get the bundle. Like I didn't realize you get the bundle. So yeah, that's crazy. But also I don't value microtransactions very highly, so I would consider that a $20 buy, in my opinion. So we also got Sonic All Stars Racers Transformed.
Which is excellent.
I absolutely loved this game on Xbox 360. I'm glad that I now get a digital copy of it for free. It's so good that Mario. I mean, everyone said, "Oh, it's a Mario Kart copy." Yeah, it's a Sonic Mario Kart copy, and then Mario Kart copied it. That's how good it is.
Yeah.
And we also got Lego Indiana Jones Part 2: The Saga Continues, which involves everyone's favorite Indiana Jones movie, The Crystal Skull.
Oh, good.
Yep. And you get to do the whole. What is it? The moving around the vines with the monkeys chasing after you, and the giant ants, all that kind of stuff.
So. That sounds more like Jungle Book. I never actually saw Crystal Skull.
So
I just knew he was getting too old for this.
He is getting too old for this. Crystal Skull, everyone, and I'll be very brief on this, but everyone rags on it for the very end because spoilers for an old movie. Oh, not that old, but old enough. The connection to Crystal Skulls is actually aliens. Which I don't think is that far out of the reach of a thing that you open it and melts everyone.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that crazy supernatural. The fact that it was not Christian based, a lot of people didn't like it because it was aliens. I didn't have a problem with that. He survives a nuclear blast in a fridge, and all kinds of other things. That is the very beginning of the movie, and it sets the tone for the stupidity. Indiana Jones is supposed to be over the top, but this is just dumb. Over the top is great when you're like in a Zeppelin and you're punching Nazis, but yeah, this just wasn't needed.
Moving on. We've got
Moving
the
on.
Plus games for this month, which starts with XCOM 2, which I'm going to give it a try, and I think it's kind of funny because XCOM 2 is one of the ones that they said, oh, it'll never work on a console, and then 8 months later, hey, it's coming out on console.
Yeah, I've heard it. I've heard it's good. I hope it's good on console. This is a series that it's one of those series that I don't know why I have not gotten into, but I've heard it's good. And this is the strategy XCOM, which is the core XCOM, not the action shooter stuff that they were doing later on.
Right.
Yep. We also got Trials Fusion, and I love Trials.
When they're fused.
When they're fused. No, I'm a big fan of Trials because it's unapologetically over the top. Yes, this is not accurate to what you could do on a motocross bike, but that doesn't matter. It does not matter at all. And I love it. And multiplayer, I didn't realize multiplayer was in this, so that's cool. Oh, cool. Also, so those are for PlayStation 4. We also got Zombie Driver for PlayStation 3, which...
It looks like a Carmageddon knockoff, which Carmageddon didn't really need to be knocked off to begin with.
No, it didn't. So I don't know. We'll see how that one is. Also got Ghost Recon Future Soldier, which is a Tom Clancy game that I don't know if it's worth its money, but it's free, so it's definitely worth its free. But I don't know if it's worth your time. Also got Squares for Vita, so Kevin can tap his Vita rapidly.
Yep.
I'm sure I like puzzle games, so I'm sure I would enjoy this, but I don't know how the platform will lend itself and how the puzzles will be. So Kevin will let us know how intuitive those are. And then Atomic Ninjas. Whoa! Excuse me. Ninjas, and ridiculous music. I've heard Atomic Ninjas is fun. but I don't know if it's for me. So you'll have to let me know. Kevin, you'll have to let me know if it's worth the time. Which we'll let you know on the games on the Gold Plus Roundup, where we review all these games and tell you what's worth your time and what's not. I'm trying to get those out earlier. Then the thing that really holds us back on these is Xbox, because Xbox releases on the 15th, 1st and 15th. There are some games that I can't play until after the 15th unless I already had them. So we're going to try to bring them out as early as possible, but unfortunately sometimes they come out towards the end of the month. But we're thinking about you guys. We want to give you that information as soon as possible. Speaking of information as soon as possible, I didn't expect this. Did you expect Mega Man? I kind of did. I'm excited that it is Mega Man 11 though. Yes.
It seems to be kind of a mix of the regular series and
X.
X.
That's what I was thinking.
Honestly, I think this will be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I'm very happy about it. Another game I can play on my Switch, so I'm happy. I love Mega Man. This may be my first Mega Man that I beat. We'll see if I can do it. And it's not necessarily because of the difficulty. It's because I didn't own a Mega Man game growing up. So I don't know. I'm excited about it. I didn't expect it, and I like the fuse of the two styles, because Mega Man X, I feel, rejuvenized the series, and it brought it to what then was a modern gamer, and now we're in what we consider modern gaming, and I think this will bridge the gap for that. Still hardcore enough to play. Speaking of that, have you played Curse yet?
Which one?
Curse of the Blood Moon.
Oh no, but I do have it on my Switch now, so I'm excited about that.
I've enjoyed it. I've almost beaten it on easy. Which is relatively easy, but the hard mode, and that's very challenging, as it were. So we're coming up on E3. We made a lot of predictions. If you guys probably saw our predictions video, if you haven't, go check those out, because we predict what we think is going to happen at E3, and E3's coming out. We recorded that a week ago, and some of our predictions are already coming true. Mm-hmm. Well, I should say some of my predictions are already coming true.
Yeah.
So far, I'm winning. Starting out with. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Where I had this lined up differently, so I meant to be here. The little keychain got. Someone took a snapshot of a keychain. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is what it said, and at first people leaked and said, "Oh well, this game's coming out," and Ubisoft was quiet about it, and then this picture came out, and then they finally said, "Yep, it's real. Here it is," or "Here's a little tease," which I absolutely love the tease, because that's all they really needed. Yeah. And I actually sent you a video message earlier on in the week. I think it was right after that they announced that they released that, and I hadn't seen it yet. Saying like, what they need to control the message, they need to say it's real, and they did. They did exactly what I thought they were going to do. When something like this comes out, you have to control the message, and they did a really good job of it. So Assassin's Creed Odyssey revealed / leaked. We're going to know more about it later. You said you got a little bit more details on this one. Is that right?
Yes, this one is going to be set in Greece. They're going to continue with a lot of the RPG elements that made their way into Origins, which is really exciting, because for me that made me so much more interested in this particular title. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see where they go as far as Greek culture, because that particular civilization goes through many changes. Mm-hmm. And so depending on whether you're talking about the early city-states, or whether you're talking about the philosophical age or the classical age, which it goes all the way up to Alexander the Great, so it could be about conquering and things like that. But I think it'll be really interesting to see which part of Grecian culture they pick up on. And because of the ending of Origins, I won't spoil it here, but because of the ending of Origins, I think that there's a good chance that we'll see a lot of the Grecian pantheon, and I look forward to that.
Same here. And again, I should say we neither one of us want to spoil the ending or anything, but Assassin's Creed has always bridged the gap of what we know and mythology of different religions, and I'm excited about that with Greece. As soon as it said Odyssey, I was really I'm hoping for boats, because Black Flag was great with boats, and it says Odyssey, which if you read up on your literature, Odyssey's the journey of Odysseus after the Trojan War. So I'm guessing that we're gonna have Trojan War and that going on, but I'm hoping that we get boats. And I'm hoping that we can visit some of these places. Maybe not in the core game, but I would love a DLC where you get to play as Odysseus or something like that. It would be really cool to me to live that out, because the Odyssey's amazing. And they called it Odyssey. I mean...
Yeah, so that could be a hint.
I'm hoping it's a hint. Either way, I'm excited about it. And I'll definitely be picking it up. We'll have to wait for E3 to find out more about it. But yeah, it's going to be awesome, at least in my opinion. Another leak that happened was Team Sonic Racing is coming out this winter. Originally, it was leaked out saying it's going to be on the Switch, and then they decided, again, controlling the message, which is really important nowadays. When something like that leaks, you control the message, and they decided, we're going to control it. It is coming out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Steam. It's coming out everywhere, which I'm happy about. I mean, first we thought it was coming out on Switch, which I think would have been great, but Sonic Racers Transformed, which we are getting for free, that came out everywhere. Xbox 360, then PS3, I think.
And then Vita.
That's right. So everywhere at the time. And I thought, when I heard it was going to be on Switch, I thought it'd be a disservice for people who are playing other platforms, because Sega became defunct-ish in regards to hardware, and then Sega properties went everywhere. I thought it would be ill-fitting to have it only on one console. And thankfully, it's going to be everywhere. I don't know about crossplay yet. I mean, this is crazy early stuff. I would like there to be crossplay, because with these type of games, I don't think that keyboard versus controller really matters that much, and that to me is the big thing when you talk about crossplay of PC versus console. That's the one thing that does get brought up by hardcore gamers, is saying that, well, the console using controllers is inferior, except you're playing Dark Souls. But happy about it, because I love the racing games. I think I'm going to get it on Switch. I'm guessing you are too. It's fun, and why not?
Well, it's not coming to Switch. That's the problem.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Here, check it out. I'll play it again. I'll play it again. Hold on. Where is... Just had it.
No, I believe you.
It is coming to Switch. And if you look...
The initial announcement didn't include Switch.
Well, the leak said it was only Switch. Then this says right on the screen: PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, Steam.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's coming out. It's coming out everywhere. The only announcement that I saw said not only Switch. I didn't see a not Switch.
Okay.
So maybe it was a misreading on. Yeah. So it may have been that. Either way, we got another leak that happened. This leak happened quite a while ago. No one believed it, and then just a few hours before the trailer dropped, someone leaked out some information about Fallout 76.
Yes. And I like the way that they revealed that they had a live stream up for about 20 hours that was just a bobblehead and the please stand by for 20 hours.
Yeah.
And they had, at one point, I think their highest viewer count was up to 143,000 watching nothing happen.
Well, I think that, and I can't speak for everyone else, but I jumped in for a little bit, and I let it play in the background while I was doing some other stuff, while I was working.
Same.
I did that specifically because I was waiting for something to pop up, for someone to pop in there, for something else to happen.
Yeah.
It didn't, but... Shortly after, we got the trailer for Fallout 76. If you are a Fallout fan, then you're probably excited about it. I'll talk about what 76 is briefly, and then we'll talk about what the rumors are what this game is.
Yes.
Because the rumors, in my opinion, I think are relatively solid, judging by the source. But Vault 76 is one of the control vaults. If you're familiar with the Fallout series, the vaults were made for when the impending nuclear war would happen, which, the whole idea of 1950s, fear of nuclear war in the Fallout universe. Nuclear war does happen. The Chinese nuke us, we nuke them, blah, blah, blah. Destroys everything, and there are a couple hundred vaults around the country, or in the US. 76 was a control vault, meaning nothing crazy was going on. There were no experiments, because some of the vaults had experiments. Everywhere from genetic experimentation to gladiatorial, like pitting people against each other. 76 is a normal vault set to open 20 years after it seals.
Yeah, and in the trailers, there's a lot of posters and things like that for Reclamation Day. And so the belief is, and I happen to agree with this, that's going to be that the game's going to start on the day that they release people out to what is now or what will soon be the Wasteland. And that's interesting to me.
That could be cool. But the date in the trailer on the Pip-Boy is 5 and some change years after the date should have opened. So either there's a delay in opening, or maybe the game doesn't start then. I mean, I don't think they would have done that by accident.
Yeah, nothing Bethesda does in their trailers is by accident. We just don't know about it for a long time.
Exactly. Then when we know more about the game, people will pick this trailer apart again and go, "Oh, that's what they meant. That's what they meant." So the fact that it's after, I don't know if maybe similar to Fallout 4, where the beginning of the game shows the opening and everything's happy and everything, and maybe some people stayed back in there, or maybe it then flashes forward to you've been in the Wasteland for a while. Or maybe the vault, which is my prediction, the vault is a home base for whatever's happening, because a lot of the other Fallout games, you are in the vault very early, then you're out and you don't get to go back. My feeling is, or my prediction is, this game you will actually get to be in the Vault 76 a little bit more, even if it's open to the Wasteland, because if this is so early on that they haven't reestablished colonies, they haven't reestablished bases and towns.
Yeah.
So I feel like the vault should be there.
I forget if this is speculation or something that's been confirmed, but we know, I believe, that they're going to have base building that they brought from 4 and continue to improve after release.
Yeah, so that's what goes into the speculation. Yeah, but
yeah.
I'm really solid on that part. The speculation involved in this is that this is an offshoot of what was going to be a multiplayer version of Fallout 4. And they realized that with the Fallout 4 core game, it wasn't jiving. And I don't know if that's specific to gameplay balance, if that's specific to graphics, and if anything but a hardcore PC could run it. I don't know about that part. But what we do know is that, or we believe that it's an offshoot of that, because they were working on that. Now, the rumors are, like you said, that it's heavy on building, and the other rumor is that it is a survival game similar to Rust or those kind of games. I don't think that it's going to be that much of a survival game. I think that, not in comparison to Rust, I think you're going to have a lot more to start. I don't think that if they haven't, it's supposed to be online heavy, but I don't know if it's going to be online centric. So we'll see what happens on it. A lot of people are really upset because they think it's
those particular aspects, the comparison to Rust and the survival and the online. I basically consider those confirmed because those were reported specifically by Jason Schreier. That's from his sources.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. I trust the source on it, but then he clarified, like, no, it's really good. It's different enough because of the Fallout. So I think that's the closest comparison that we have. We'll see further details on it later, but I do I mean, Schreier's usually pretty right. He has really good sources, and he's also gotten in trouble repeatedly before, if you want to call it in trouble, for talking about or leaking or discussing what he'd heard about Fallout 4 and other games. So I trust him with being right. I just don't know if it's the closest. If it's probably the closest comparison, it may not be exact, right? I don't think it's going to be you start out naked like Rust or Conan Exiles, where you got nothing and you start to chop down trees. I don't think it's going to be that far, but I think it's going to be close to that. Maybe a good mix. Either way, I get another point, probably, because it sounds like this is going to be a Fallout game, but not played the way we normally play Fallout games. So we'll see what happens on it. Yeah. How many other points can I get today? Sorry, I was just combing through here and I lost my place. Yeah, Pokemon.
While looking at that and trying to stroke his own ego on camera, I'll go ahead and jump to the next topic, which is some Pokemon announcements. We have Pokemon Quest, which is available now on Switch, and it will soon be coming to mobile. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of I don't know. I wasn't terribly impressed. There's a lot of recharging, and you have to wait to play and stuff like that. And so it very much feels like a mobile game.
Yep.
But
it's a mobile casual game with Pokemon squares, Pokemon cubes. I couldn't get into it. I know it's going to make some money for some people. I couldn't even get into it for like you said, it has cooldowns. I couldn't even get into it as a casual thing to do every now and then. I just felt it was really repetitive, and I wasn't getting anything out of it. Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu, which I predicted new Pokemon games. I did not predict a Pokemon Go mashup on the Switch.
But you did predict a Pokemon game on the Switch. I'll have to go back and see if you said mainline, because I wouldn't count this as mainline, but...
I didn't say mainline. I didn't say mainline because I did not expect something non-mainline. I expected us to hear actually about Pokemon Switch, which is what I would consider... I'm pretty sure that's what I referred to it as, because what I expected was the Pokemon Core mainline RPG stuff, which will come out next year. So within a year or a year and a half or so, we're getting 5 Pokemon games. I'm not going to...
It's kind of ridiculous.
Kind of ridiculous. Quest, then again, in my opinion, I don't consider Pokemon Go a Pokemon game. It's a game with Pokemon in it. And I feel like Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu, maybe I'm wrong. Prove me wrong. It's fine. It seems like it's Pokemon Go, but instead of walking physically, I'm walking within the game.
Yeah.
Also, in this, we don't know about the Pokemon RPG, the core game that's coming out next year. But this game, you go and walk up to the Pokemon you want to fight or capture or whatever. There's no random encounters.
Wandering through the grass.
No random encounters. Even if you're wandering through grass, it doesn't matter. No random encounters. So I don't know if that's going to be something they change in regards to the core Pokemon game. I think that it would be a good idea to do that. Because that'll allow some more strategy, kind of like Final Fantasy 15. It's not a random encounter. You see the enemy and they're going to come towards you, and you could run away or whatever. I think that'd be smart of them to do. We'll see if they do it. I don't know. Either way, I'm not unimpressed. I just feel like these games are not for me. Some other people are going to absolutely love them, and that's fine. It's not my Pokemon. I'm gonna wait and see what happens with the Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu. Because if they're fun, I don't know. Maybe I can't rent them. I don't know. Maybe I'll wait to see how they review. But I'm probably not going to buy them. Some other people will probably buy them. I heard some people speculating, oh, you're going to be able to link your Pokemon Go to it. I think it'd be a horrible idea. If you could take all your Pokemon that you got from Pokemon Go and bring it into Pokemon Let's Go, would be a horrible idea, an imbalancing idea, and it'd ruin the fun. I mean,
well, the reason that it's not that I don't think it would be too terribly imbalancing, and the reason that I think a lot of people won't do it is whenever you transfer anything from Go into Let's Go, they keep their stats that they have from Pokemon Go, but they also get 3 random stats.
Wait, was this confirmed?
Yes, this the Pokemon Company had an extended press release video type thing, and they talked a lot about how it's going to work and the transfer systems.
Okay, so what's the point of playing that game, if you have a bunch of Pokemon that you're already starting with, as opposed to actually catching them?
Well, because then you would skip the grinding part and just go after the gym leaders, I would imagine. I don't know. I haven't gotten that much detail, but I feel like that maybe, I don't know, they can hamper it in different ways, and I think that they will figure out a way to make it worth your while.
Do you think that that'll make more people play Pokemon Go that haven't been playing for a while?
I think it's possible. Pretty much anytime that there's a change, you're going to see some kind of influx of either lapsed players or new players. Yeah. But I feel that'll be something that these announcements have probably reactivated people's desire to play some kind of Pokemon, and then whenever you jump back in, you can be like, oh, so this is what they changed since the last time that I played. True.
I purchased the last ones, and I think I played 5 hours or 6 hours of it. I was specifically playing it and pacing myself to play with Whitney, and she got completely disinterested. So I don't know. I may play them again, but that would require firing up my 3DS again. I haven't turned that thing on forever. But I don't know. We'll see. I didn't make a prediction on. I didn't make a prediction on this because we had already talked about the leak of it, which is Lego Villains, Lego DC Villains. I apologize. Which, crazy happy about this. I love the Lego games and the DC Lego games in particular because, as everyone knows, Batman villains are better than anyone else's villains ever. You can have an argument about who's the best superhero. You can have an argument about who's going to win in whatever fight, but Batman's villains are the best.
The best.
And as you can see here, this is called DC Villains, but the majority of the ones they're showing are Batman villains. You had Reverse Flash in there, but Joker, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn. I think Bane shows up here in a bit. But it's like every single villain they show in here is who's that supposed to be? I don't even know. Is it Multiple Man? It wasn't Clayface. I don't know who the heck that was. Either way, I love the Lego games, and I'm going to buy this because Lego. So we're getting this, which I didn't see if they announced a release date on. I'm going to see if I can find that really quick. We do know that we're getting Lego Incredibles later this year. So between this and Lego Incredibles, I'm pretty happy with the direction that they're taking with the companies. Lego Incredibles is something I did not expect. DC is going to be an easy buy for me.
Definitely, same here.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with that, and I'm glad that TT just keeps on cranking out quality Lego games, and like not all of them are for me. Like if you had the Indiana Jones Lego, I'm not really interested in that one. Jurassic whatever wasn't really for me either, but like the comic book ones, the DC and the Marvel superheroes are consistently fun, and the girls and I really enjoy playing those together.
I think Whitney's played every Lego game that's come out and beaten every single Lego game that's come out, starting out with Lego Star Wars and going from there. They've actually, Chris and I were talking about this because we were hanging out with Chris yesterday. He was talking about Lego was it 15 years ago or so?
Yeah.
10, 15 years ago, they were not doing well. Lego as a company was not doing well. And now they're doing pretty darn well, partially because of this. The Lego movie obviously helped, and then them doubling down in the premium Lego sets, which So I saw the $800 Millennium Falcon last night, and
yeah,
it's remarkable, but I can't justify spending $800. Maybe $300 or $400 I could see.
I've actually seen the what's the Avengers jet called?
The Avengers jet? You mean the Quinjet?
No, the one that was in the movie where Nick Fury was hanging out.
The Quinjet? Or you mean the helicarrier?
The helicarrier, yeah.
Okay.
So I've actually seen that one in real life, and it is amazing.
Yeah. But if I did it for any of them, it would be Star Wars. But my problem is that that Millennium Falcon. First of all, I'd have to have a place to display it, and if I did that, I would have to do get the Slave One and multiple others. And then I would have a problem because it doesn't scale. There's like the Lego Star Destroyer and the Death Star don't have the same scale as Millennium Falcon, and that would bother me. So I wouldn't get those. I'd have to go with just the ones that are to scale with the figures because I'm a nerd like that.
There you go.
Yeah. So we got some, I would say, kind of unexpected news in regards to buyouts. Nordisk bought out Avalanche, which Nordisk is a film, technically a film company, but I didn't expect Avalanche to be purchased like this.
Yeah, it was interesting because I know that that they've been working with like Warner Brothers Studios for the Mad Max stuff, and then they had switched over and they were working with Square Enix on the what's it called? We announced it a couple weeks ago. The Rage 2.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Or Bethesda rather.
Yeah, that's why I was really confused because they're working with Bethesda on that. Just Cause as we're playing here as part of their lineup. I mean, Just Cause was not a huge commercial hit, but at the same time, I thought it made money. Rage 2's coming out. It just kind of surprised me that that's happening. So there must be business wise. Not to say every company that's purchased is purchased because they're doing poorly. They could be purchased because the company that was acquiring them is wanting to grow their own company, which I think a lot of time we talk about buyouts, we specifically talk about it as in, oh, they weren't doing well, so they had to get bought out. I've seen in my work and in other industries, sometimes it's specifically because the company that's buying them wants to, ride that train. They want the intellectual property. They want whatever it is, and then they can move forward with it.
They believe in the team. They see that they're doing well and could be doing more, and situations like that. And that kind of plays well into our next story. Is Bungie is working with NetEase, which is a Chinese company that makes games. They typically publish the Blizzard games in China because it's a whole different market and a bunch of nonsense. But
it's illegal for it's illegal for a non-Chinese company to have games there.
Yeah.
Unless they're okayed by the government.
Yep.
Similar to the Hollywood movies, which up until I want to say it's 5 years ago or 6 years ago, China only was allowed to have 10 movies that came out that were not Chinese movies that would be allowed to play in cinema.
That is fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Now they've opened it up, they still have a limit. I want to say it's like 35 or 40 or something like that. And that is why Marvel and other companies have these big they will, for lack of a better term, shoehorn in large, big name Chinese actors or actresses into their movies because they then go
international appeal.
It's not only international appeal, but there's so little when they do say, hey, we're coming out with a movie and it has this person in it, that the Chinese government says, oh, this is great. Or if they happen to be in China in the movie for some reason, which is why one of the reasons why Marvel, I can't remember the actress's name in Age of Ultron. That's the reason they had her in it, the one who works on the synthetic skin.
Yeah,
it's the reason they cast her. It's the reason they had the part in the movie was specifically to say, "Hey, China, look, let us in." So same thing with video games, and video games is even tighter. So I think this is Bungie wanting to get into the Chinese market, which is what, 2.5 billion people.
Yeah, it's a substantial market.
Yeah, between China and India, those are like the biggest markets. Which is actually, speaking of the whole Disney thing, Disney buying out Fox, which is still waiting to solidify. The biggest reason that they're doing it's not what we're talking about, which is like the Marvel Fox, Marvel, X-Men and everything coming together. They're buying it out for Sky, which is the international television, because that is in India and parts of Europe, and that is a ridiculous amount of eyeballs on the screen that they will be able to market to. But I mean, it's an interesting purchase. Purchase Bungie with working with them. It's an interesting partnership. I think that's exactly why they're doing it. So we'll see if they're going to come out with. I don't think that we're going to have games that were in China coming through to us. I think it's going to be vice versa. I think Bungie's going to use it to leverage their games into China, is what I think.
Yeah, I think that NetEase will probably publish them, and then I'm looking forward to see what Bungie's able to do once they're, because this is entirely separate from Destiny and everything, and so I would be really interested to see if they manage to pull off something like Guerrilla Games did, and a studio known for first-person shooters can come out with something interesting, something different. I think that would be a lot of fun, because they have amazing talent there, and I would really enjoy seeing what else that talent can do, what other ideas they have roaming around.
I agree. One more bit of news before we wrap up. Hyper Light Drifter, which you played, right?
I have not. I was excited about it. I didn't buy it because it didn't come to Vita.
Yeah.
But when it's coming to Switch, I'll buy it there.
Coming to Switch, and it's going to have exclusive content specifically on the Switch, and it is going to be 1080p in docked mode, which I know everyone rags on the Switch for that, but honestly, I haven't had any problems with anything that I've played where I felt it lacked in functionality. Yes, it's not a hardcore graphic hog, but games like this, there's no reason it shouldn't hit 1080, so I'm glad that it is. I'm glad that it's coming out. I'm glad that it's going to be 1080, and I'll probably pick it up. There have been rumors for a while. I don't think we're going to hear anything about it this year. I may be wrong. I'm not going to make a prediction or anything, but there have been rumors floating around that Switch is going to get some type of upgrade because it's great, but when it's docked, it's just not cutting it. So there's more rumors about that. Which, if that happens, I get another point, because I predicted that when the Switch, right after the Switch launched, or right before the Switch launched. So we'll see. It's definitely coming up Millhouse for me. I've got 2.5, 3 points or something at this point. So we'll tally those up after E3 in regards to our prediction points. But let us know in the comments what you're excited about when it comes to E3, and let us know if there's something that you're hoping to see at E3 that would be unexpected. IP coming back that you're a big fan of, that you haven't seen in a while, remasters, who knows? Let us know in the comments, and let us know if you think Scalebound's coming back, because it's not. See you later.
Bye.
Thanks for watching This Week in Our Collective Heads. Subscribe over here and click the bell, and that way you'll know about any new videos that we put up, because we put up a lot of gameplay, a lot of stories from games and stuff like that, and gameplay is down here.
Yeah, and you got more editorials and news stuff down here. Check it out.